Very simple course only, but practice very, very important here. Sir, last time in interview, they are asking one question. I'm given numbers equal to. Explain about flask. If you want to explain flask, first I should have idea about the flask. Flask not required, man. Just you go through the YouTube videos, 1-2 sessions bus installation and those things. But I think if anyone attending interviews, anyone asking the flask, 90% they never ask. I'm telling now, seriously, you can practice REST API, MongoDB. Those two are bus for your interview. 3, 5, 4. AO number మీ ఇష్టం 6, 5, 2. Not only exact these numbers, any numbers they are asking sum of the squares. How to write it? You know already. Read one by one number. And you are also using map function. And ఇంకోటి ఏదో యూజ్ చేశారు లిస్ట్ ఫంక్షన్ అంటే యు ఆర్ యూజింగ్ ప్రీడిఫైన్డ్ ఫంక్షన్స్. వేర్ ఇస్ యువర్ ఓన్ లాజిక్? మ్యాప్ ఇస్ ద ప్రీడిఫైన్డ్ ఫంక్షన్. సపోజ్ I want to remove the duplicates ante simple I can use set of L removed, but they are not accepted. You are using set function, you have to write your own logic. Then sir, own logic ante everybody knows about that. This is the logic, sir. Observe carefully. Membership operator. Single line I'm asking that. That is their problem. Is your normal program everyone written, they are written 2-3 lines code, they are showing. But he is asking single line program, he is asking. Suppose normal nowadays asking flask, sir. Recently I gave an interview. Attention, they asked about the flask. Okay, Google it or go through the YouTube videos. Bus simple solution. ఈయనేదో చెప్పాడు చూడండి, రెడ్యూస్ ల్యాండా ఏ కామా ఎక్స్ కామా ఏ స్టార్ స్టార్ 2 ప్లస్ ఎక్స్ స్టార్ స్టార్. అదేంటి వాట్ ఈజ్ ఏ వాట్? అక్కడ 2 lists are not there na, only 1 list is there. If 2 okay, he is reading values. First one, second one. Okay. First value, second value, adding, it will goes to the A, X will be goes to the second. Okay, reduce function, final output is one value now. Wrong, it's wrong. Again it is coming first value, again first value will be squaring, second value squaring. Babu garu, that is wrong. Correct only. Your A star 2 will be stored to the total result will be stored to A. Next third value coming to the X. Then first value again it is going to the square. But what they are asking is, where is the PY? Salen, whatever you have to write it. If it is correct, execution done, okay, no problem. There are a number of ways are there. Normal way, what they are written is, I can take sum equal to 0 for each number in where numbers sum plus equal to number star 2, print the sum. Saripindi. Now this is the logic they have to return. The sum of squares, comma, sum. Fine. Execute. In space ekada. Okay. Now it is running. They are writing this program only. Simple logic. Anyone, they have to write the same logic only. Take a variable sum equal to 0. Read one by one value. Square it. Add it. Correct only this program. Py test.py 261. Correct. But by using list comprehensions are there now. By using list comprehension, can I did same thing in single line? How to write list comprehension? List comprehension. Single line program only. bus completed. For example, what I was doing is here, remove all these nonsense. Take the list comprehension for x in number, numbers, x star star 2. Is it a list or not? Yes, it is the list comprehension. Total this one, make it as a sum. Make this one into print. So you are not using anything. Total 261 came. So this is also correct. You can use lambda. They are written using a map function. Anything you can use, no problem. You go to the map function and okay. అదే అదొకటి ఉంది, అదొక ప్రోగ్రామ్ కదా. Normally in the generators Fibonacci series 3 lines only. Take A, B, 0, 1. Okay na? Print A, comma B. First yield of A you can. After that you can change A, comma B equal to B, comma A plus B. Bus program. ఇంకోటి ఏంటి అడిగింది, ఫిబ్నాకీ సిరీస్ కదా. ఫిబ్నాకీ N3 అనుకో. Three minus 1, 2. 3 minus 2, 1. సరే చూడండి సార్, వాటి ఏమిటంటే ఫిబొనాకీ సిరీస్. In our regular classes, who are attending my Python classes, in the generators topic, I explained Fibonacci series how to generate. Go to the program, completed this one. You can use simple ternary operator. How to use the ternary operator? If one condition satisfied first value, otherwise second value. அப்படி n value is 0. So, how to generate Fibonacci numbers means I have to take fib equal to lambda of how many values you are taking, one value. After that, I have to provide a condition if n less than or equal to 1. Simple, you can print n value. If n less than or equal to 1 అయితే n. అదే greater than 1 కానీ 2 కానీ 3 కానీ 4 కానీ 5 అయితే you go with else part. Call the same function fib of n minus 1 plus fib function again you can call n minus 2. Now, how many values you can require for I in range of 10? Fib of I. So this is the logic. Go to the Python shell. Now, first 10 Fibonacci numbers will be printed there. 3 kavali 0 1 1. Okay. You have to give 3. 0 1 1. First 3 will be printed. 100 kavali. In the range you have to specify. First 20 Fibonacci numbers will be printed. 0 1 1 2 3 5 8 13. This is the way. Value error does not exist in this model, or M2 M field or the non-created field. Just a ternary operator, man, this one. If the condition n value, else I'm calling the function. So next one is Django REST framework. For this prerequisite is compulsory Python should be there. After that Django. Same Django terminologies of it is there. Okay. Without seeing the code, not possible to tell all these things. Okay, na? In offline students, once they are coming laptops, if I'm seeing the complete program modules, I'm not able to identify some errors. If you're asking like this, not possible to identify errors. Shruti. Sir, what is the use of the REST API means the major concept? There are two persons are there. The person, he is the person. Who is the person? This is the second person. What is the difference between these two persons? First one and second one. First one is first one having the 2 legs and 2 hands are there. Second one, no. Here, this person is Django. He is having REST API. This person having only Django knowledge. That is the difference between these two. So the person who is having 2 legs and 2 hands is working efficient when compared with that one. Same. If you don't have any REST API knowledge, only have Django. Same like that your position also in the second person only. So REST API is the mandatory and important technology in the Django. So that's you can go to in the starting days are in the whenever we started Python classes 7-8 years back. If you know only Python, freshers they can select a minimum 2 lakhs they are given package. After 3 years, 4 years, they are asking immediately. Starting they are asking this Django. If you know Django, okay, selected 4 lakhs package. After that, slowly, if you know Python, Django plus REST API also. Oh, very good. Take 6 lakhs. If you know already Python, you know, Django, you know the REST API along with MongoDB. Very good. Take 6 lakhs. So because MongoDB is a simple technology only, no problem. దానికి ఎవరో salary ఎక్కువ. But MongoDB is also mandatory. Okay. Majors are nowadays Python just 1-2 question they are asking. Django 4-5. First అసలు they started entry with REST API. First question when you go to first they are asking the first question, what is serialization, deserialization? From there cinema started. First question they are asking that one only. Simple serialization, deserialization means you know already in your Python. In Python, there is one concept is there, file handling, pickling and unpickling. What is the meaning of pickling and unpickling? One object I want to store to the file permanently. That is called as pickling. From the file, I have to read the data to the object back. That is called as unpickling. Same here also. See, Python dictionary to JSON. We don't have any idea about JSON present. If you're attending MongoDB, then you are getting idea about the JSON format. Because client to server, every time I'm using client, what is the client? Browser is the web client. Server is somewhere else. Suppose my server is Facebook. This Facebook server is available maybe in the US, in the New Jersey. I am the client accessing from the Hyderabad. The client server browse understandable language is one common language is there. That common language is what it is? HTTP. I'm sending some message to the server. Server is sending the common message format. Nowadays, everyone using JSON. In olden days, everyone using XML and something YAML language, something is there. But nowadays, everyone using JSON only. So that is the story of this REST API, sir. If you want to REST API, first you should clarity about these terminology. So first of all, what is API? What is web API? Or some people are Java people are calling web services. You know, my outside holdings are there. Web services batch started in the Java. That is what is web API web service. So what is REST? So what is REST API? What is the Django REST? This tells your course is completed. So many people are having confusion about all these 5 terminologies. API, web API, REST, REST API, Django REST framework. First of all, what is the API? Don't tell the definition. If I'm asking what is HTML means hypertext markup language, like that application programming interface. 10th class student know about API meaning. So what is the main component of the API? What is the functionality of the API? Communication between the web, only web. Sir, suppose here laptop is there. Here I'm typing something, I'm typing. It is coming into the TV and it is coming to the projector. How it is connection is there. Some wire connection is there, cable is there. Suppose here my voice I'm speaking here in the speaker, it is coming. Something connectivity is there. So same like that. The API is nothing but all mediator for server and client. Not server and client, okay. Sir, the main concept of API is, the objective is, it is providing communication between the 2 components. Simple example, what is API? Everywhere API is there. Go to the Google. If you go to the yeah. Sir, in olden days, this is the phone. So in this phone, ఇదేంటిది వాట్ దిస్ వన్ హియర్ దిస్ వన్ keypad. In that some red button is there, green button is there, OK button 1, 2, 3, 4. If I remove the keypad, I am given the phone. Can you use it? Is it possible? No. Phone contains possible. I think you can use. So in the phone, there are so many functionalities are there. Whenever call is coming, in the olden days, just we have to click on the green button. Once call completed, red button. Nowadays, all this nonsense touch gitch phone came. So different story is there. So that keyboard is nothing but one API. But what it is doing? It is providing some what we have to call communication between the two components. Two component means I am one person, end user. Mobile having the functionality. I want to operate that functionality. This keyboard is required. That Samsung mobile keyboard is nothing but a one API. So the major concept is the method of communication between the two software components is nothing but a API. It may be web application, enterprise, or mobile, anything. And one more simple example. Every time you are going to the nowadays ante not going to the ATM centers. Google Pay, Phone Pay, this pay, that pay came. Okay. General we have to go to the ATM center. So in this ATM center, ATM machine, I want to withdraw money. So here some buttons will be there. Once insert your card, it will display options. So do you want to withdraw, deposit, minimum, or generate pin? Options are came. But what is that GUI? That ATM GUI is also called as one API. So the API is main thing. It is providing communication between the two software components, which is nothing but we can call it as a, what it is, API. So that is the API purpose. The main objective of API is two applications communicate with each other. API allows the external agent to communicate. Integrate and exchange the information with our application. That is the meaning of API. First terminology. Everywhere it is there. So which will provide communication between the two components is nothing but a one API. It is a maybe Samsung mobile keyboard, or it is ATM GUI panel. Methods of communication between software components, nothing but your API. That is the first terminology, sir. What is API? ATM GUI panel. Internally, one application is there. By using my GUI, the end user accessing that application and application functionalities. That's why that GUI is called as one API. So up to now you are a Django developer. You are implemented application. Okay, the application can be used by only end user only. So the main drawback of your project is whatever project I completed just now. Okay. I'm sending the request, open the application. Who is accessing this? I am. Means end user only. So the major problem in this case is also without API, why application is not recommended by the clients means the reason up to now your application can be used by only end user can access to your application. Your Django application should be somewhere else in server. This is your application. So you are a Django app developer. Your task is completed. You have written the what it is, views, templates, everything done. You uploaded. Fine. End user will send the request. End user are getting the response. Fine. The major problem is tomorrow one person he is not using directly. He have one Java application is there, or he is having one mobile application is there, or he is having Python application is there. Python app means test.py. My Java command, if I send a request to Django, my Django not able to understand because your Django can be implemented by Python programming. End user send HTTP request, it return HTTP response. If I use Java or mobile or Python or .NET or some another application, no chance. So that's why other people are not able to access. So now what is API I'm telling? Two software components are there. One is your Django application, one is Java application. The two softwares are there. I want to communicate between these two. Mobile application, Django. I want to communicate these two. Python application. Tomorrow .NET is there. Any other application, PHP application. One middle person is required. That person is nothing but your API. If you implemented API, end user can access, Java access, mobile application, Python, .NET, PHP, anything. So just now, do you know sometimes you are using some word is there, Postman is there, Postman tool is there. So by using Postman also, without API, Postman is not able to communicate with Django. Only end user can communicate it to the Django. That is a big drawback. Adi if you implemented API, small concept only, just a folder, two files, views dot models, bus concept completed. Then any person can access. That's why API is the mandatory technology. So API means simple, which will provide communication between the two components. The two components are one is Django application, another one may be Java, mobile, all these applications. That is the reason we are implementing our APIs. End user may be accessing. Java application may be accessed. I will give with examples also. Okay. Now, being you have the role is API developer role. Why I want to access the Django application? So, if you know only Django, your application can be used by only limited people. Only end users can access. Adi being a API developer, if you are using API, then anyone can communicate. End user can communicate. Java application, mobile application, everyone communicated over Django. That is the main advantage of APIs. So project is ready. Just your role is you have to implement a small API, means one endpoint you have to give. That is the concept of our APIs. So by using API, a Java application can communicate with Python application. Interface of communication between the user and application is nothing but API. The user can be human being, human user, or an Android application, or any desktop application, or anything. Then API is must and should. That is the first one, API. Second one is web API or web services. What is the meaning of web API? And what is the second one? Web API or web services. What is the meaning of the web API? Web API means just now I'm telling anything which can provide communication between two software components, nothing but API. The APIs which can be implemented user and one web application, such a type of services are called as web services or web API. For example, if you want to go to the movies, generally you go to the Book My Show app is there. So some movie came yesterday, recently movie Till 2 something is there. T square, Till square, either square. So I want to book the ticket. 2 hours 3 minutes action comedy 2D movie. ఉన్నాయా టికెట్లు? కార్నర్ తీసుకుందాం, మళ్ళీ మధ్యలో అయితే ప్రాబ్లం అయితే. 115 మూవీ హై ఎంతమంది? ముగ్గురు వెళ్దాం, అటోకలు ఇటోకలు మధ్యలో నేను. ముగ్గురు. అయ్యో లేవుగా, ఫ్రంట్ ఉన్నాయి. నో, ఆ కార్నర్ ఉన్నాయా? కార్నర్ ఉన్నాయి అన్ని. ఇక్కడ ఉంది అబో 4 4. సరే సార్, నౌ Book My Show is the one web application. Once you select the seats, once at the time of payment, is it taking the payment? It is open one window. You can go anywhere. One payment gateway is there. That payment gateway is nothing but web API, which is providing communication between Book My Show and you. One API is there, na payment gateway. That is nothing but our API concept. The API services which can be provided to the web application. Book చేసుకో, చాలా ఉన్నాయి టికెట్లు. So that is called as web API. అంటే there is one application is there, sir, Java application. So I want to communicate one web application is there. Web application. I want to communicate this one. internally one API can implemented. That API is nothing but what it is, web API. Best example, Book My Show payment gateway. Suppose I want to connect it to Facebook. First Facebook login page is coming. So that is called as one authentication purpose. Facebook login by using this one. So the services, the APIs which can be implemented for web application, that API is called as web API. The interface of communication between the user and application over the web by using HTTP is nothing but web API. Book My Show application can communicate with payment gateway application to complete our booking. That is one web API. So payment gateway given by third party person. Yeah, same IRCTC also. Any web application, if I given one API to interact with the web application, maybe he is end user, maybe Python, Java, mobile. I implemented web-based APIs. So third terminology is REST, not REST API, only REST. So what is the full form of the REST? Representational state transfer. REST means representational state transfer. That is the REST. REST is nothing but it is one of the architectural style. It defines some rules how to implement the APIs, web APIs, normal APIs. So REST is one of the architectural style which will give some rules. For example, SDLC is there, software development lifecycle. In that 6 pages are there, requirements, analysis, design, coding, testing, release, maintenance. 7 phases are there in SDLC. But SDLC internally different models are there again. Like waterfall model, prototype model, agile model, V model, fish model, so many models are there. So what it define, it will give some rules how you implemented your project. Based on that, you have to implement it. Same here also, REST is nothing but representational state transfer, one architectural style, which will give some rules how to define our APIs. That is nothing but our REST. REST is an architectural style. REST is an architectural style. It defines several rules or guidelines to develop the web APIs or web services. That is the REST. అంటే వెబ్ సర్వీసెస్ లో జనరల్ గా టూ టైప్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ అండి. సోప్ బేస్డ్ సర్వీసెస్, రెస్ట్ బేస్డ్ సర్వీసెస్. When compared with soap based services, REST is the very simple one. I will give first to listen the terminologies. Everything will give examples. By using REST, just I'm given today introduction part only. Once program started, I will give multiple examples. We can develop web APIs very easily in concise way. REST is the most popular architecture to develop web services. As how many types of services are there? Two types. I will explain the two types. SOAP based services, RESTful services. Nowadays everyone using RESTful services only. Fourth one. RESTful API. Sir, what is RESTful API means? REST is defining some rules. It is defining some rules and guidelines. So by using these REST guidelines, if I implemented any API, such a type of APIs are called as RESTful APIs. Because web services, two types are there. One is SOAP based APIs, REST based APIs. So nowadays everyone using RESTful APIs only. Ante the API which can be implemented based on that architecture, such a type of APIs are called as RESTful API. The API which is developed by using REST architecture is nothing but RESTful API or REST API. The API which is developed by using REST architecture is nothing but RESTful API or REST API, sir. That is an interface between the user and application where API implements REST architecture is called as a REST API. So what is the difference between REST and REST API means? REST is basically an architecture, whereas RESTful API is an API that implements in REST. That is the difference between REST and REST API. So first API, Web API, REST, RESTful API. Finally, Django REST framework. Last word. Last word, Django REST framework. So Django REST framework means built-in framework. It is one of the which is used to develop the web APIs. Django REST framework is a powerful and flexible toolkit for building the web APIs. Most commonly used framework in Python world to build the web APIs. Internally uses all the Django like models, views, templates, ORM, and everything same only. Akkada whatever Django is there, create view, create URL, create templates, ORM concepts, everything same. Sir, here just now we implemented one project na here. Suppose here one project I implemented just a job. Suppose sir, in Hyderabad, in high-tech city, one company there is some job is there. I have 10,000 students are there. All the 10,000 students mobile numbers are there. I want to send SMS to all my 10,000 students. Suppose so company requirement is there, freshers. I want to send. Can I send in my mobile SMS to all the 10,000 people? No. So compulsory what is required? SMS gateways are there. Like some SMS gateway softwares are there. SMS grid.com. Like this type of so many they can provided services. Sorry, some SMS gateways are there. By using that SMS gateway, Mahesh Jobs is a Django application. I implemented totally Django. One job post I want to send it to all the people. One job details. share to all the students. Compulsory, what is required? SMS gateway is required. Bookmyshow to book the ticket, payment gateway is mandatory. This SMS gateway is nothing but one API. So how this SMS gateway communicate to our Django application? Compulsory one API is required. That API as a developer we have to implement it. Endpoint. One more simple example, sir. In the throughout world, how many people will be there? Some 750 crores of the maybe 750, 800 అయిపోయి ఉంటుంది వాటికి. లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ లెక్కలే 700 ఉన్నారు. నాకు తెలిసి దాటిపోయి ఉంటుంది వాటికి. 800 crores people are in the world. So what is API means? For example, sir, these all 800 people can communicate directly one-to-one person. Suppose you are from China, he is from North Korea, he is from South Korea, she is from Afghanistan se aaya. So one China person, one Japan person, are you both communicate means no. Suppose one North Korean person, one Telugu people, are you both communicate? No. So one common language is there, English, but English also problem is there. Some people they don't know English. Entire world everyone knows the English? No. Some people don't know English. Translator is required compulsory. So as a person, I implemented one technology. By using the technology, any person can communicate entire world. Then it's a very beautiful concept. But no one can introduce that type of concept. That concept is nothing but API. Then China person will talk to Afghanistan person. Afghanistan person talk to the Telangana Telugu person. A Telugu person can talk to the China person. But such type of communication is not there. If you have to introduce it, such a type of thing, it's very, very beautiful. Same here also. Different applications I have to communicated. Such a thing is nothing but ever what it is? API. So, for example, one person using the operating system Linux, his application is implemented by using Java. Very good. Another person, .NET, he is using the OS Windows. Very nice. Another application is there. That application can be implemented by Python. His operating system is Mac. Another person implemented one application, SAP. All are different application, 4 application, and operating systems are also different. Java application, Linux, .NET, Windows, Mac, SAP, Linux. I want to provide communication between all these applications. But Java language not able to understandable by Python. Python not able to understand .NET. .NET commands not able to understand SAP. That's why being a API developer, I will use one endpoint. I'm implemented one API. By using this API, sir, irrespective of the operating system, irrespective of the language of your application, happily have to communicate to Java to this to this, this to this. So being API developer, your main role, that endpoint you can identify. That is the major concept. So what is the language between all these people? Only one language. That language is HTTP language. But how to communicate the message format? I'm telling now what is the message format? JSON format. Nowadays using common message format JSON. JSON means Java script object notation. So the story of basic introduction to API. API, Web API, REST API, and Django REST framework. So the main objective of web APIs is interoperability. That is, different applications can communicate with each other irrespective of their developing language and platform. Actually, don't worry about platform, don't worry about application. Common language is HTTP. Common message format is nowadays JSON, olden days using XML. So in this entire REST API, we are seeing only 5 words only. Somewhere else we are using this one: get, put, post, patch, bus. If you know these 5, your REST API is completed. Get to put somewhere else we discussed. If the method equal to get, that is different story. Is a different story. These are all the HTTP verbs. Get means just like in your Django, I explained some operations for you. CRUD, CRUD operations. C meant for create. R meant for retrieve. U update, D delete. Create means I want to create. Here the command is post. Post. R retrieval. Get. Update. Patch. Or put also. Both. Difference I will tell: put ki, patch ki. Delete ki, delete. Akkada CRUD operations are there. Here these methods are there: get, put, post, patch, delete. Django REST framework, if you want completely cinema, Django REST framework. This is the official website. Django REST framework. I am written now. Django REST framework is a powerful and flexible toolkit for building web APIs. This is simple. It is providing authentication policies. The first question they're asking, serialization. ORM, non-ORM concepts will be implemented. Using trusted internal recognized companies including Mozilla, Red Hat, Heroku, Eventbrite. These are all the sponsors. Requirement: Python versions, Django versions. Simple, you have to install Django REST framework. Then every time in the Django we are using the install apps. Test app. You can add REST framework, bus, URL patterns. Same how Django terminology, views, models, URLs. 3 terminologies ikkada kuda. Examples, something they can provide. Even later I will take care. So that is the cinema of introduction to REST API. Monday we will start the programming. Monday cinema will be started. That is the just to tracer for REST API. Okay, bye everyone. Monday we will continue. Yeah, I will give Django entry questions materials I will upload today. Java application can communicate to the Django. We are not using communication, I am telling. Java to Django, how to communicate, that is I am telling. Python also. Communicate means communicate. I will give clarity while execution of the programs. You will get clarity. Okay, na? Present
Recording
just
stopped.
go through the terminologies. Bus. Sorry, bye everyone. Enjoy. Monday we will continue. అడ్వాన్స్ మోడల్స్ చెప్పే కదా ప్రైమరీకి ఎలా పెట్టాలి ఫారెన్ కి